How do ballot propositions work? Imagine a way for voters to have a direct say in new laws or changes to the Constitution. That's what ballot propositions are all about. They are questions or proposals on election ballots that voters get to decide on directly. These propositions can create new laws, change existing laws, or even amend the state constitution. They can also be used to approve or reject laws that have already been passed by the legislature. Sometimes, they are used to remove laws that voters no longer want. There are different types of ballot propositions. The first is called initiatives. These are measures proposed by citizens who gather signatures to put their ideas on the ballot. Citizens can suggest new laws or amendments to the Constitution without needing approval from the legislature. The second type is referendums. These allow voters to approve or reject laws that the legislature has already passed. Some referendums are mandatory for certain laws, while others are optional and started by citizens to veto laws they disagree with. The third type is legislatively referred measures, which are proposals placed on the ballot by the state legislature or local governments for voters to decide. The process begins with citizens drafting the text of the measure they want to propose. They then submit it to an official, often called the Attorney General, who prepares an official title and summary. Supporters of the measure gather signatures from registered voters to qualify it for the ballot. The number of signatures needed varies by state and can be thousands or even hundreds of thousands. Once signatures are collected, election officials verify them. If enough valid signatures are confirmed before the deadline, the measure qualifies for the ballot. Then, during the election, voters see the proposition and decide whether to approve or reject it. For measures placed on the ballot by the legislature, the process is simpler. The legislature votes to put the measure on the ballot. This can be for constitutional amendments or laws. Sometimes, laws requiring a mandatory referendum before they can take effect. On Election Day, voters cast their ballots. If a majority votes in favor, the proposition becomes law or amends the Constitution as specified. If most voters reject it, the measure does not take effect. Ballot propositions give voters a way to directly influence laws and policies. They can cover issues like taxes, education, healthcare, or social policies. This process allows people to have a say beyond just voting for representatives. However, some propositions can be complex, and voters might need to understand legal language and what the measure really means. Overall, they are a key part of how democracy works, giving citizens a direct voice on important issues.